Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. The hospital corridor stretched endlessly before him, lights casting shadows on the mint green walls. Kevin's sneakers squeaked against the polished linoleum as he made his way to the admissions desk, clutching a folder of paperwork against his chest. His blonde hair, grown out to shoulder length over the past 2 years, hung loose around his face. Name? The receptionist looked up from her computer screen. Kevin Morrison. I'm here for surgery with Dr. Patel. She typed rapidly, then handed him a clipboard. Fill these out and have a seat. Someone will call you back shortly. The waiting room chairs were stiff and uncomfortable. Kevin settled into one near the window, away from the television droning morning news. His hands trembled slightly as he filled out form after form. Date of birth, insurance information, emergency contact. Each checkbox and signature brought him closer to becoming Mariana permanently. A young nurse in purple scrubs appeared in the doorway. Kevin Morrison? He stood, legs unsteady. The nurse smiled warmly. Right this way. We'll get you prepped. The pre-op room was small and clinical, dominated by a narrow bed with crisp white sheets. The nurse handed him a pale blue hospital gown and a clear plastic bag. Everything comes off, including jewelry. Put your belongings in the bag and we'll keep them safe. The gown ties in the back. When she left, Kevin stared at his reflection in the small mirror above the sink. This was the last time he'd see this version of himself. He peeled off his gray t-shirt and faded jeans, folding them carefully before placing them in the bag. The gown felt paper-thin against his skin. A knock interrupted his thoughts. Dr. Patel entered, followed by the anesthesiologist. The surgeon's kind eyes crinkled above her mask. Good morning, Kevin. How are you feeling? Nervous, but ready. That's perfectly normal. We're going to take excellent care of you today. Dr. Williams here will explain the anesthesia process, and I'll go over the procedure one more time. The anesthesiologist, a tall man with graying temples, pulled up a rolling stool. You'll receive general anesthesia through an IV. When you wake up, you'll be in recovery. Some grogginess and nausea are common, but we'll manage any discomfort. Kevin nodded, trying to focus on their words rather than the hammering of his heart. The surgery will take approximately 4 to 5 hours, Dr. Patel continued. We've discussed the techniques extensively, but do you have any last questions? No, I trust you. Good. We'll have you count backward from 10 once the anesthesia starts. The next thing you know, you'll wake up as Mariana. More staff filtered in and out. A nurse started an IV in his left hand, the needle sharp but quick. They helped him onto a gurney, wheels rattling as they navigated through corridors toward the operating room. The OR doors swung open to reveal a space that looked like something from a science fiction movie. Massive lights hung from articulated arms. Monitors beeped steadily. Staff in blue scrubs moved with practiced efficiency. Slide over onto the table for me, someone instructed. The surgical table was narrow and firm. They positioned his arms on padded boards extending from either side. Sticky pads attached to his chest connected to more monitors. A blood pressure cuff inflated around his right arm. Doing okay? Dr. Patel's voice was reassuring above the mask. Yes. The anesthesiologist appeared at his left side. I'm going to start the medication now. You might feel a cold sensation in your arm, then drowsiness. Start counting backward from 10 whenever you're ready. The cold hit first, racing up his arm like ice water. Kevin's eyelids grew heavy. 10, 9, 8. The bright lights blurred. Voices became distant echoes. 7, 6. Darkness claimed him. Consciousness returned in fragments. First came the beeping, steady, rhythmic, insistent. Then pressure, a weight across her chest. Her throat felt raw, mouth desert dry. Mariana tried to open her eyes, but they felt glued shut. She's waking up. A woman's voice, unfamiliar. Mariana, can you hear me? The name sent warmth through her foggy mind. Mariana. Yes, that was right. She was Mariana now. Her eyes cracked open. Everything was blurry. A face hovered nearby, a nurse in green scrubs. Welcome back. You're in recovery. The surgery went perfectly. Mariana tried to speak, but only managed a croak. The nurse produced a small cup with ice chips. Just a few. Your throat's sore from the breathing tube. The ice was heaven against her parched throat. As the fog lifted, Mariana became aware of her body. Bandages wrapped her chest. A catheter bag hung from the bed rail. Various tubes and wires connected her to machines. But beneath the medical equipment and post-surgical ache, she felt different. Right, somehow. Pain level? The nurse asked. Scale of 1 to 10? 6, maybe 7? I'll get you something for that. Time moved strangely in recovery. Nurses came and went, checking vitals, adjusting medications. Dr. Patel appeared at some point, though Mariana couldn't tell if minutes or hours had passed. Everything went beautifully, the surgeon assured her. You'll be sore for a while, but the results are excellent. We'll keep you here for observation, then move you to a regular room. The move came eventually. Her new room had a window overlooking the parking lot, autumn leaves scattered across the asphalt. They helped her transfer from the gurney to the bed, every movement sending sharp reminders of the surgery's extent. A different nurse, older with steel-gray hair, bustled about getting her settled. I'm Sharon. I'll be taking care of you tonight. Press this button if you need anything. Mariana dozed fitfully, waking each time someone checked her vitals or emptied drainage tubes. By morning, she felt more human. They removed the catheter, an unpleasant process, and helped her take a few shuffling steps to the bathroom. The mirror above the sink stopped her cold. Her face was the same, framed by tangled blonde hair, but something in her eyes had changed. The constant tension, the sense of wrongness that had haunted her for years, gone. First time seeing yourself? Sharon asked gently from the doorway. Mariana nodded, unable to speak past the lump in her throat. Take your time. This is a big moment. Days blended together. Walk the halls, manage pain, learn to care for surgical sites. Physical therapists taught her how to move without straining healing tissues. Social workers discussed recovery resources. The drain tubes came out one by one, each removal a small victory. On the 4th day, Dr. Patel announced she could go home. You've done remarkably well. Keep up with your follow-up appointments. No heavy lifting for 6 weeks. Listen to your body. Mariana had arranged for her friend Jessica to drive her home. She arrived with a duffel bag of clothes Mariana had packed weeks earlier, clothes chosen specifically for this moment. I brought everything you asked for, Jessica said, setting the bag on the bed. How are you feeling? Sore, tired, but good, really good. Jessica helped her change out of the hospital gown. The soft cotton undergarments felt strange, but right against healing skin. Pull-on burgundy sweatpants came next, gentle on tender areas. A loose cream-colored button-up shirt completed the outfit, easy to put on without raising her arms too high. Your chariot awaits, Jessica announced once Mariana was dressed. Wheelchair rules until we're out of the building. The ride home passed in a blur of familiar streets made new. Everything looked different through Mariana's eyes. The apartment building's 3 flights of stairs proved challenging, requiring frequent stops. Maybe I should have found a ground-floor place, Mariana panted, clutching the railing. Too late now, come on, almost there. Her apartment welcomed her with its familiar chaos. Books stacked on every surface, plants crowding the windowsills. Jessica had clearly been by to water them. The couch looked impossibly inviting. I stocked your fridge, Jessica said, helping her settle onto the cushions. Nothing heavy, lots of soup and yogurt. Your prescriptions are on the kitchen counter. You're amazing, thank you. That's what friends are for. You sure you don't want me to stay? I'll be fine. I need some time to process everything. After Jessica left, Mariana sat in the quiet apartment, watching dust motes dance in the afternoon sunlight. She was home. She was herself. The journey was far from over. Healing would take time, both physically and emotionally. But for now, this was enough. The next weeks passed in a routine of medication schedules, careful movements, and gradual healing. Mariana ventured out slowly, first just to check the mail, then short walks around the block. Each day brought tiny improvements. Bending became easier. The constant ache faded to occasional twinges. Her first follow-up appointment arrived faster than expected, back in the same medical building, but everything felt different. The receptionist smiled. Good morning. Checking in? Yes. Mariana Morrison for Dr. Patel. Using her chosen name in public still sent a thrill through her. The nurse who called her back was the same one from pre-op, though Mariana hadn't recognized her at first. "You look wonderful," she said, leading Mariana to an exam room. "How's recovery going?" "Better every day." Dr. Patel's examination was thorough but gentle. She nodded approvingly at the healing incisions. "You're doing everything right. Keep it up. I want to see you again in a month." That afternoon, Mariana decided to attempt something she'd been putting off: shopping for clothes that actually fit her new body. The department store felt overwhelming at first. She stuck to basics: properly fitting undergarments, a few simple tops, jeans that didn't require constant adjustment. In the fitting room, she caught sight of herself in the full-length mirror. The woman looking back wore a violet t-shirt and dark jeans. Her blonde hair needed styling, and she could use some makeup tutorials, but she was undeniably herself. "Finding everything okay?" a sales associate called through the door. "Yes, thank you. Everything's perfect." Back home, Mariana hung her new clothes in the closet, removing some of Kevin's old things to make room. Not everything. Some pieces held too many memories to discard immediately. But seeing the new items hanging there, ready for her new life, filled her with quiet joy. Her phone buzzed, a text from her sister Emma. "Haven't heard from you in a while. Everything okay?" Mariana stared at the screen. She'd been avoiding this conversation, but Emma deserved to know. She typed carefully. "I'm good. Better than good, actually. Can we meet for coffee tomorrow? I have something important to tell you." The response came quickly. "Of course. Usual place at 10? See you then." The coffee shop was a local favorite, all exposed brick and mismatched furniture. Mariana arrived early, claiming a corner table. She'd chosen her outfit carefully. The burgundy sweats had been retired in favor of black leggings and an olive green tunic that flowed loosely over still tender areas. Emma rushed in right on time, her dark hair wind-tossed. She stopped short seeing Mariana. "Kevin? You look different. Sit down, please." Emma slid into the opposite chair, eyes searching Mariana's face. "What's going on?" "I go by Mariana now. I had surgery, gender-affirming surgery. I'm transitioning." The words hung between them. Emma's expression cycled through surprise, confusion, and something else Mariana couldn't quite read. "How long have you been planning this?" "Years. I wanted to tell you sooner, but I needed to be sure. I needed to do this for myself first." "Are you happy?" The question was so simple, so direct, that Mariana felt tears prick her eyes. "Yes, for the first time in my life, truly happy." Emma reached across the table, squeezing Mariana's hand. "Then I'm happy for you. Tell me what you need from me. Pronouns? Name? I want to get this right." "She and her, and just treat me like your sister. That's all I've ever wanted." They talked for hours. Emma asked questions, some awkward, but all from a place of genuine care. She admitted she'd suspected something had been weighing on her sibling for years, but hadn't known how to bring it up. "Mom and Dad?" Emma asked eventually. "Not yet, one step at a time." "When you're ready, I'll be there. We'll tell them together if you want." Walking home, Mariana felt lighter despite the autumn wind cutting through her tunic. Emma's acceptance was a gift she hadn't dared expect so easily. Her phone rang as she climbed the apartment stairs. Unknown number. "Hello? Ms. Morrison? This is Kelly from HR at Brennan Associates. I'm calling about your paperwork for returning to work." Mariana's stomach dropped. In all the preparation for surgery, she'd managed to push thoughts of work aside. Her medical leave was almost up. "Yes, hi. What do you need from me?" "Just confirming your return date and discussing any accommodations you might need. Also, I have a note here about updating your personnel file." "Right. I've legally changed my name. It's Mariana now." "No problem. Can you send me the court documents? We'll get everything updated. Email, building access, nameplate. Anything else we should know about?" The conversation was surprisingly straightforward. Corporate policy, Kelly explained, was clear on these matters. Mariana scheduled her return for the following Monday, giving herself the weekend to prepare mentally. That weekend flew by in a flurry of preparation. She tried on different outfits, settling on charcoal slacks and a burgundy blouse for her first day back. Professional, but comfortable. She practiced reintroducing herself in the mirror until the words felt natural. Monday morning arrived too quickly. The familiar office building looked imposing as Mariana approached. Her keycard worked without issue, now displaying her correct name. "Mariana?" The security guard, Robert, waved from his desk. "Good to have you back. Feeling better?" Apparently, HR had done their job well. "Much better, thanks." The elevator ride to the 5th floor felt eternal. When the doors opened, she nearly retreated back inside. But Tracy from accounting spotted her immediately. "Oh my God, look at you!" She rushed over, eyes bright with curiosity. "HR sent an email about your name change, but they didn't say, 'You look amazing.'" "Thanks, it's been a journey." Word spread quickly. Some colleagues adapted immediately, others stumbled over pronouns before catching themselves. A few kept their distance, uncertainty written on their faces, but overall the day went smoother than Mariana had dared hope. Her manager, Patricia, called her in for a brief meeting. "I want you to know you have my full support," she said, closing the office door. "If anyone gives you trouble, you come straight to me, understood?" "I appreciate that." "I mean it. We've got a zero-tolerance policy on harassment. Now let's talk about the Fletcher project. Where did we leave things?" Falling back into work routines helped. Spreadsheets didn't care about gender. Emails needed answering regardless. By lunch, Mariana felt almost normal. She ate in the break room with her usual crowd. David from IT kept shooting glances her way. "Just ask," Mariana finally said. "I can see you're dying to." "Does it hurt? The surgery?" "Not anymore. Recovery was rough, but worth it." "That's brave as hell," he said. "I can't imagine going through something like that." You do what you have to do to be yourself. The afternoon brought its challenges. The bathroom question loomed large. Mariana had been using the single-occupancy bathroom on the 3rd floor, but that meant constant trips between floors. Finally, she took a deep breath and entered the women's room near her desk. 2 women from marketing were at the sinks. They glanced up, then went back to their conversation without missing a beat. Mariana exhaled slowly. Another hurdle cleared. Weeks turned into months. Each day became easier. Mariana developed new routines, found her style, built confidence. She started hormones therapy, watching subtle changes reshape her features. Her hair grew longer, now reaching past her shoulders. She learned makeup techniques from YouTube tutorials and Jessica's patient instruction. The call to her parents could no longer be postponed. On a rainy Sunday evening, with Emma sitting beside her for support, Mariana dialed their number. "Hi, Mom. It's me. I need to tell you something." The conversation was harder than with Emma. Tears were shed on both sides. Her father's silence spoke volumes, but they didn't hang up. They listened. They asked questions. They admitted needing time to process. "We love you," her mother said finally. "That won't change. We need to understand. That's all I can ask for." Progress came slowly with them. Stilted phone calls gradually warmed. Her mother started using the right pronouns. Her father sent a card on her birthday addressed to Mariana. Small victories. The first anniversary of her surgery approached faster than seemed possible. Mariana marked it quietly, taking the day off work to reflect. She walked through the park, autumn leaves crunching underfoot, wearing the sage green coat she'd bought herself as a celebration. Her phone buzzed. A message from Dr. Patel's office. "Just wanted to check in on your surgiversary. Hope you're doing wonderfully." She was. The journey hadn't been easy. There were still hard days, moments of doubt, people who refused to understand. But sitting on a park bench, watching life go by, Mariana felt a deep sense of peace. Her phone rang. Jessica. "Hey, birthday girl. Well, sort of. Rebirth day? What are we calling this?" "I'll take either. What's up?" "We're taking you out tonight. No arguments. Dinner at that Italian place you love." "We?" "Just a few people. Emma, Tracy from your office, couple others. Nothing huge." That evening, Mariana stood before her closet, debating options. She settled on a black dress she'd bought recently, but hadn't worn yet. It fit perfectly, hitting just above the knee. She paired it with the ankle boots Emma had given her for her birthday. The restaurant was warm and inviting, candles flickering on checkered tablecloths. Her friends had claimed a table in the back corner. They erupted in cheers when she walked in. "There she is!" Jessica raised her wine glass. "To Mariana on her first anniversary of becoming herself." To Mariana, the table echoed. Emma pulled her into a tight hug. I'm so proud of you. The evening passed in a blur of laughter, good food, and better company. Stories were shared, some from before her transition that now seemed like tales about a stranger, others from the past year's adventures. Remember when you were terrified to correct the barista about your name? Tracy laughed. Now you correct anyone who gets it wrong without batting an eye. Growth, Mariana said, raising her glass. As dessert arrived, tiramisu with a candle stuck in it, Mariana looked around the table. These people had supported her through the hardest and best year of her life. They'd watched her transform not just physically, but emotionally, finding confidence she'd never known existed. Speech, David called out. Others joined the chant. Okay. Mariana stood, suddenly shy. I'm not good at speeches, but thank you, all of you, for seeing me, the real me, and embracing her. This past year has been everything I dreamed, and nothing like I expected. It's been hard and beautiful and worth every moment. Here's to continuing the journey. They stayed until the restaurant started stacking chairs. Outside, the night was crisp and clear. Mariana pulled her coat tighter, the sage green wool soft against her skin. Want to share a ride? Emma asked. I think I'll walk. Clear my head. In those heels? They're not that high. Besides, I've gotten good at this. She hugged everyone goodbye, promising lunch plans and coffee dates. Then she set off through the quiet streets, her footsteps echoing on the pavement. The city looked different at night, softer somehow. Or maybe she was the one who'd softened, edges worn smooth by the year's experiences. Either way, she felt at home in her skin in a way that still sometimes surprised her. Her apartment building came into view. 3 flights of stairs that once seemed insurmountable now barely registered. Inside, she kicked off the boots and padded to the bathroom. The woman in the mirror bore little resemblance to who'd stood there a year ago. Her blonde hair fell in waves past her shoulders. Hormones had softened her features, redistributed subtle curves. But the biggest change was in her eyes. They held joy now instead of constant questioning. Mariana changed into pajamas, soft flannel pants and an oversized t-shirt. She made tea and curled up on the couch with a book she'd been meaning to finish. But her mind kept wandering to the future. There were still steps to take, voice training to continue, legal documents to update, relationships to navigate. The journey was far from over, but for the first time in her life, she looked forward to it all. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Hi, Mariana. This is Sam from the support group Emma mentioned. She gave me your number, with permission. We meet Thursday evenings if you're interested. No pressure, just community. Mariana smiled, typing back, I'd like that. Send me the details. The response came quickly, with an address and time. Another step forward, another piece of the life she was building. As midnight approached, Mariana prepared for bed. Tomorrow was a regular Tuesday. Work, meetings, life as usual. But nothing felt usual anymore. Everything felt intentional, chosen, hers. She paused at the bedroom window, looking out at the city lights. Somewhere out there were others on similar journeys, finding their truth, becoming themselves. The thought filled her with hope. 1 year ago, she'd walked into a hospital as Kevin and emerged as Mariana. The physical transformation had been just the beginning. The real change, learning to live authentically, to take up space, to stop apologizing for existing. That continued every day. Mariana climbed into bed, pulling the covers up to her chin. Tomorrow would bring its own challenges and victories, but tonight she was exactly where she needed to be. Home, herself, whole. The autumn wind rattled the windows gently. She closed her eyes, a smile playing at her lips. The surgery had reshaped her body, but she'd reshaped her life. And that journey? That was just beginning. Sleep came easily, bringing dreams of futures yet to unfold. In them, she moved through the world with confidence, her blonde hair catching sunlight, wearing colors that made her feel alive, burgundy and sage and violet. In them, she was simply Mariana, living her truth. And that was everything.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.